Alright, MAGA is going full mask off. Why did I wake up and immediately see this tweet from the right-wing account nWokeness that says, ha 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 ha, holy shit, Trump told Trudeau that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the US, then perhaps they should be annexed. And I have a few thoughts. First of all, nWokeness is one of those accounts that was constantly whining about being called a fascist. Please don't call us a fascist. Then right when Trump wins, they immediately go mask off and say, perhaps we should annex Canada. But also, I thought, no way Trump is so dumb that he doesn't understand the mutually beneficial relationship that the US and Canada hold, but that was naive of me, because then I found this headline that reads, quote, maybe Canada should become the 51st state. Trump's swipe at Trudeau tariff complaints, and this happened during their recent meeting at Mar-a-Lago. Apparently things got pretty awkward, and let's get it straight from the source. This Fox News article says, the president-elect told the Prime Minister of Canada if they can't fix the border issues and the trade deficit, just magically fix both of them, he will levy a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods on day one when he returns to office. Trudeau told Trump he cannot levy the tariff because it would kill the Canadian economy completely. It would also kill the US economy. And Trump replied asking, so your country can't survive unless it's ripping off the US to the tune of $100 billion. Trump then suggested to Trudeau that Canada become the 51st state, which caused the Prime Minister and others to laugh nervously, sources told Fox News. But he continued, telling Trudeau that Prime Minister is a better title, though he could still be a governor of the 51st state. Sources told Fox News someone at the table chimed in and advised Trump that Canada would be a very liberal state, which received even more laughter. Trump suggested that Canada could possibly become two states, a conservative and a liberal one. This doesn't seem like a one-off joke that he's making. Like, the dude is actually entertaining this idea and thinking about how he could make this work. He told Trudeau that if he cannot handle his list of demands without ripping the US off in trade, maybe Canada really should become a state or two, and Trudeau could become a governor. While sources say the exchange got many laughs, Trump delivered the message that he expected change by January 20th. Can I just remind you guys that Donald Trump bullied Trudeau to Mar-a-Lago in the first place with this bullshit threat of 25% blanket tariffs on all products coming into the US, which not only would hurt Canada, but that would nuke the US economy. That would nuke gas prices. It would nuke food prices. Everything would go up. And even aside from that, this is not diplomacy. This is the opposite of diplomacy. You have to remember that Canada is one of our close partners, not only geographically, but literally one of our biggest trading partners. And Donald Trump wants to bully Trudeau into coming to Mar-a-Lago just so that he can get an optical win and say that, hey, maybe we will annex Canada. I'm sure that Trudeau really wants to work with you now, man. It's just bullying dressed up as some sort of harsh, strong leadership that his fans will eat up. And I'm not even going to begin to mention how pissed off it makes me that the same people who complain about being called fascists then go on and talk about annexing Canada. So Ashley St. Clair said, so epic. She's a big Trump supporter. And Wokeness said, how can you not love him? If President Biden made a joke about annexing other territories, these people would say that he had lost his mind. Meanwhile, Donald Trump can go around and make these threats that are honestly just vacuous, and they love it. They eat it up. They lap it up. It's scary, though. Think about it. This damages America's global reputation for a few reasons. I already said that Canada is one of our closest allies, a NATO partner, a key trade partner, so when Trump treats them like a vassal state, it undermines the decades of diplomacy. It undermines the relationship that we've spent decades building up, all because Trump doesn't understand that it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And he thinks that tariffs are this end-all, be-all weapon when they're one of the weakest tools in the arsenal of America. So now allies are going to start wondering whether the U.S. can be trusted. Are they going to start joking about annexing Mexico? Oh wait, they've already joked about invading Mexico. Donald Trump has talked about buying Greenland multiple times. I mean, multiple presidents have talked about that one, to be fair. But do you know how many times elected Republican officials, like top GOP officials, have casually joked about invading Mexico or mobilizing the entire US military along the Mexico border? It's too many to count. So I don't blame our allies for distancing themselves from us, not in a good way either. We benefit from this interconnected world that we've built where we can all trade freely without tariffs being placed on imports like Trump wants to do. Let's watch this clip from nWokeness of Peter Doocy trying to sane wash what Trump said to Trudeau. I mean, that scene that I just read to you, that conversation that happened in Mar-a-Lago, they wouldn't even write that into the movie The Godfather. They would think that's too heavy-handed of a threat. He wouldn't annex an entire country, but Peter Doocy is still going to come on Fox News and try to sane wash us and say, this is hilarious, it's classic Trump. Take a listen to how he tries to spin this insane rhetoric.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor.
Okay, so I do want to clarify. There's a difference between being a strong leader and just being a reckless asshole bully. There is a massive difference. You don't have to be soft to get results. I personally think that Biden should have been stronger on Ukraine from day one. I have my own theory about that. I can make a whole video. But there is a line between effective diplomacy, being effective, and just being reckless with your threats. Like suggesting that you're going to annex a sovereign country, and after saying that you're going to put 25% tariffs on them, this isn't strategic whatsoever. Diplomacy isn't about being soft or backing down. I'm not asking Trump to back down. If he wants to solve these problems, he can, but he should do it in a strategic way and use his influence and his negotiation tactics that he claims to have to actually solve the problems instead of asking Trudeau to magically do. Like, he literally asked Trudeau to magically solve not only the trade deficit problem, but also the immigration problem, while Trump just has to sit back and be hands off. He thinks it's this genius plan, but it's not. A true statesman can demand results without resorting to threats, or can actually negotiate something without making Trudeau feel like a lesser person or that his country is under threat. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, and no matter what, Republicans are going to run defense for Donald Trump. I mean, even Fox News reported it like it was a mob boss meeting and then laughed at it after. Sources told Fox News someone at the table chimed in and advised Trump that Canada would be a very liberal state. I'm glad somebody pointed that out because that is also a major piece. I mean, Canada would largely help elect Democratic presidents. Of course, there are many conservatives in Canada. There are no lack of Trump supporter, MAGA type conservatives that exist over there, but I also think that it would largely be a liberal state. I'm really curious. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys. I like to end off with this clip of Jasmine Crockett on Laura Coates Live. Listen to what she says.
I'm eager to get your take on this because, look, I mean, you have actually congratulated President Biden. Yeah. You seem to be, at least publicly, in the minority among Democrats in the House. Why do you think you are in the minority here, and is it sincere?
First of all, it is sincere, and I can't say why my colleagues are acting the way that they are. I can say that the American people are tired of us bringing a butter knife to a real fight, a real war, and
I'm eager.
That's very well said. Yeah, I mean, the Republicans erode the norms at every single step, and the Democrats are the ones saying, hey, we don't want to take it too far. That would erode a norm, but it's like the Republicans have already started that. We can knock down one wall when they're about to knock down the entire house. I understand that the optics with the Biden decision aren't great because he did say that he would never pardon his son. He said that a few months back. I understand that the optics aren't great, but at this point, Trump lied about widespread election fraud and still won. So does it really matter? That's the cynical take. We'll talk more about that in future videos, future live streams. I have a lot of good content planned. Love you guys and peace out.